Hey gang, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. Pretty much every day is amazing and fascinating. Oh, and look, here's Kit. Want to say hi, Kit? Say hi to the people. Hi, Kit. So Kit's having an amazing and fascinating day. He's been barking like a fool. That stuff happens. Sorry, we're going through an allergy season here. Plus the wind is howling, so that's all special. I'm here to share with you today why it is that you're not going to get a regularly edited video from me. So this is going to be completely, unscripted and unedited, so that'll be extra fun. I'm not going to make it be real long, though. The short version is I had a major internet fail day before yesterday, and I've been for 3 days basically trying to deal with that to the point where I have the video all edited that I wanted to upload for you today, but I haven't been able to get it uploaded. Long series of issues surrounding that. And so this is what you're getting instead. But it's both a cautionary tale about how life on the road isn't always everything it's cracked up to be, and also about how if you persevere, you will of course overcome. So as you can see, I've got another lovely lake view behind me. Not going to tell you where I am because I'm doing this in real time. But I'll tell you, I'm in the state of New Mexico, which is where I'm planning to spend pretty much the entire summer, and maybe the fall, we'll see. So I've been here for about a week, been doing all kinds of stuff because I had a screaming hot T-Mobile signal until a couple of days ago. And then it was kind of acting up in the evening. Couldn't quite get connected to my smart TV to watch some YouTube and Netflix. And it finally connected, and I thought, okay, that's fine. Well, and then yesterday morning, I got up and I had no internet at all from T-Mobile, which means I'm down to my Verizon hotspot, which is part of my phone, and, doesn't really allow me to stream and so forth and so on. And for a long series of stuff I won't bore you with, I'm having difficulty being able to get the video I wanted to uploaded. So, a couple of days ago, I called T-Mobile business customer service, and I was on the phone with somebody there for like well over an hour and a half. And it was very, very frustrating because I had this happen in February where my T-Mobile router died while I was back in Tehachapi at my Sticks and Bricks. In fact, it died the day after I got there. And so that was relatively easy. I was able to get a new one delivered. I was able to get the old one returned. No big deal. Well, I'm in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico right now. There is a small town nearby, but it has like one grocery store, and it has, one drugstore and an insurance agency, which was not at all helpful. I'm going to tell you how this all unfolded. So after an hour and a half on the phone a couple of days ago to get my billing straightened out from the last time that I had to replace my router, which was very, very frustrating because I was told when they replaced my router, it automatically canceled my original plan, which included discounts for paperless billing and auto pay. And I had to go through a lot to get those credited back and get my plan reinstated. So yesterday morning when I got up and I found out I didn't have internet, I called again, and after a brief time, I ended up getting transferred to a tech support guy who was very good, by the way. And he and I spent probably almost another hour trying every possible troubleshooting step, including doing a factory reset of the router, resetting the SIM card, or resetting, I don't know if we actually reset the SIM card, but reset the reading of the SIM card at least by removing it, powering off, reinserting it, powering back on, and so forth and so on. All of which takes a little while for the modem to be able to boot back up and everything. So after an hour of that, he says, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to tell you that I really think your router is dead. And I was like, yeah, I really think it is too. But I had the thought, but the other thing that he had checked was that the signal strength in this area has been reported to vary by several different people. I don't know if he was looking at down detector or something else. He said, so it's possible that it's just bad signal and you're just not able to get enough. He said, but I really don't think so. I said, well, I'm planning to stay here for a few more days. And because of all the hassle with getting the billing straightened out, my inclination is to just wait until I move and try it again and see what I've got at that point. But I messed around with it some more yesterday evening, and then I checked with somebody else that's camped nearby who also has T-Mobile internet, and hers is just fine. So I was convinced at this point it's definitely the router. Well, coincidentally, yesterday afternoon, I got an email from Natalie at T-Mobile. Hi, Natalie, new subscriber. Thanks for watching. And she was introducing herself in the email as my, I think it's called account executive, my account representative for my business account, which is only internet with T-Mobile. And, you know, wanted to schedule a call with me to discuss how she may be able to help and so on and so forth. Now, as you can probably imagine, I was a bit frustrated after having, 2 hours of T-Mobile internet calls in the previous 2 days, one with the customer service, one with tech support. Sorry about the itching, guys. It's like, it's really pollen-y right now. Anyway, so I thought, all right, well, this is somebody that's reached out to me directly. Let me give that a try. So I scheduled the call for this morning. And all in all, we spent about another hour working through this, but I didn't have to go through any of the troubleshooting steps or any of that kind of stuff. She agreed right off the bat that, obviously the router was dead based on everything we had done yesterday. And we talked about different ways to be able to accommodate this. Sorry, one more time. Hopefully I'm through now. I'll be able to get through the rest of this without having to scratch my nose. So, she was perfectly well prepared to be able to replace the router for me, but the next issue became where to send it. I'm in the middle of nowhere, small town nearby. So the first place I looked up was the grocery store, and I called the grocery store to ask them if it would be okay to have a package sent there by UPS, because there is a post office in the town, but T-Mobile will only send by UPS, not USPS, and you can't do UPS to general delivery, apparently. So I called the grocery store, and they were very gracious and said that was absolutely fine. And then she looked up the address for the grocery store, which, even though they won't use USPS, they have to validate addresses through the USPS site, which did not recognize it as a valid mailing address. Go figure. Okay, fine. So we're both looking on Google Maps trying to find someplace else that might be close by, that might be willing to accept a package for me. And the next place I called was an insurance agency. And I'm not naming any of these places in particular, although you can maybe expect to see a video on the grocery store itself coming up in the not too distant future, which I believe is the same grocery store that's been featured on a friend's channel previously. So I called the insurance agency. And apparently some low-level, receptionist clerk person kind of probably answered. And I explained what my issue was and asked if it would be possible to have a package sent there. And she put me on hold and came back and said no. Okay, fine. I couldn't understand how it was that would actually disturb their business, but whatever. And then I called the local drugstore in town. And again, part of the reason I'm not naming names is that if I name names, then you'll get some idea of where I am. And I really don't want people deciding to come out and check out my campsite, at least until after I've got all this resolved and I've moved on. So I called a local drugstore and talked to the owner there, and he graciously agreed to let me send the package. And then, and by this time we had been checking addresses before I was calling these businesses to make sure that they would be able to be validated. So we had validated based on the address in Google for the drugstore. And as I'm giving the owner my name and phone number so that they can, call me if they need to, he said, and yeah, you're going to have it shipped to, and he gave me an address that was different from the one that was on Google. I'm like, wait a minute, what? He said, yeah, they changed our address a couple of years ago, but it's never been picked up correctly in Google. Okay. Well, guess what? The new address is not identifiable by the post office. So we're shipping it to the old address, which he said might be fine. The UPS drivers all pretty much know them, and I can't say the other thing because that'll give you too much of an idea of where I am. So we put that together. And Natalie started, processing the order, and then decided based on, and this is something that's a little bit odd to me, but apparently different representatives at T-Mobile can do different things. They have different access to different systems and so on and so forth. So in order for Natalie to proceed with shipping me the new router, she would have had to turn off my old account, which is what she was planning to do, and I was fine with that. In order to do that, she had to call a regular customer service person, which she can get through to much more quickly than I can. And that customer service person said, well, if you stop the service on the old router, you're going to cancel the entire account. But the customer service person is instead able to replace my router under warranty. And it was just such an easier process to have Natalie on the phone with me while we were going through that process in order to be able to get the exchange done. So, with any luck, it's going out UPS overnight today, and I'll be able to pick up my new router tomorrow. Then my tough call is going to be figuring out how to return the other one, because there are no UPS drop-off locations anywhere near where I am. One thing at a time, right? So, what's the upshot of all of this? Well, first of all, let's talk about the kindness of strangers. Both the fact that the grocery store and the drugstore were willing to help out a stranger and accommodate receiving a package for me, that says a lot. And that's part of what life on the road is really about, guys. It's about having all these new experiences. I mean, the experience of having my router die is not a great experience, right? We all get that. But getting it dealt with is a better experience than really I had the right to believe was going to happen. Now, I don't have the new router yet. I haven't plugged it in yet. Everything's not fine yet. Yada, yada, yada. I get it. But I am confident that it's going to be just fine. That's the way I feel about it. So, thanks so much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking through to the end. And if you got something out of this, consider giving me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.